They attempt to organize and describe my dreamings, visionings, understandings, and changings in those years. They're products of a journey, a healing journey, from straight Western civilization to new, gay places, an exploration in thought, being, time, and space. My enculturated person went traveling overseas in foreign exotic lands. And as the British used to say about certain explorers, quote, he went native, unquote. That used to be a joke. So, people don't know what it means. References. This book is the story of an immigrant. So, believe it or not, I thought I'd gone to Mars. That's how the book ends. You see. So let's stand on that. There it is again. Bigger. There it is again. Bigger. There it is again. Bigger. So it completes the theme of falling through the tongue like Alice. But this is from being straight to being gay. So let me finish this and then we'll talk about it. He went native. So this book is the story of an immigrant. It's a story transcribed onto these linear English book pages as best as I could manage. I see myself trying to serve as a translator, attempting to share meanings, messages, and knowings which were given to me in mindscapes light years distant from English. I've tried to shape the writings to maximize understanding and remain faithful to what I received. Of course, this depended on my own state of being, ability to communicate any personal limitations and liabilities at the times of writing, and those who get more of that one time too. I certainly changed over the years, and you'll note some differences as the essays progress. Yet for me, the outer forms of the writings are not as important as the inner spirit. May you receive these words with the same love and care in which they came to me. My hope through this book is to further your unfolding and enflowerment, your own seeing, experiencing, understanding, questing, flying in your own ways. I feel there can be no such thing as gay leaders or hierarchs, only sharers, only inspirers. So likewise there can be no followers, no armchair or vicarious gay travelers. For gay evolution to be successful, it must come from and happen in each of our own living selves authentically. May you hear truth in your own heart, that and love will bind us together. Keep this in mind as you are reading. I see gay realization as evolving maturity and lived fullness of each individual, as anarcho-communal empathic friendships, as a leaderless spiritual brotherhood. Now, I worry here about why I'm speaking primarily to men. I think being a lesbian is radically different from being a gay man, although I feel our visions are very close. So this is why I won't speak about or for women, because it's not my place. Though I know many lesbians will see their visions in our eyes too. I welcome them to share my writings. I hope that someday we will build powerful alliances together. Again, a reference to a time of lesbian separatism. I hope reading this book will encourage my brothers to believe in yourselves and your gay dreams. Gay dreams. I hope it will help us have faith, trust, revelations, and gatherings. So this is written after the first gathering, which was a big high for everyone. I hope we will grow, flow, coagulate, build those loving, healing, supportive friendships, networks, matrices, homes, communities, and non-institutions so vital for our survival. Let's make living crystal balls, magical doorways, transformational halfway houses, transmutational Faerie cyclotrons. Let's cross the abyss on silvery wings to new worlds, lost homes, and re-emerge with the great spirit divine. Let's have mass migrations, meaning from the system. As we depart straight realms, our thoughts, languages, lifestyles, environments will all change. Periods of confusion and disorientation are inevitable. I keep in mind that, as a gay person, the trip from straight to gay is a healing journey, a journey to wholeness, to health. The traveler must abandon the perversions, corruptions, cancers gained in straight life. The prison wall's a straight space, straight time will crumble. There are multitudes of dimensions, realities, and beings in existence, and much may seem unbelievably or even terribly fantastic at first. Yet, it's been both my and other gay travelers' experience that we do find our way, in large part because mysterious others, capital O, others come to help us. Wonderful beings or consciousnesses that exist on the fairy path, beings of great awareness and wisdom. In the establishment of living gayness, we have loving friends, capital F, friends. We will change and transmute ourselves. Like Native Americans and most all nature peoples, we will come to see life as essentially spiritual and essentially good. The sun, moon, and earth feed us, and we will learn that we are each sun, moon, earth, and all else. Then we will be entering our fate to become and be gay. Spirit, the intelligent power shaping and sustaining matter, space, and time will bless us, and we'll remember we were really spirit all along, and then we will assume our responsibilities and complete our tasks in the cosmic scheme of things. May we be open, may we be with harmony, inspiration, may we dance and sing our questings, our sorrows and happiness, and taste ecstatic joy. May we be healed and become whole. May we be truth, compassion, and infinite spirit. That's the introduction. Anyone notice any feelings? It's from a long time ago, after that, 1980. It's about 32 years ago. About a whole hour to go now. Or is that I'll lose you all out? Are you all reacting? Lose or snoozy or what?
It was beautiful.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Of course. We were responding to some of the energies of it. Excellent. Thanks for the feedback.
Thank you for the vision.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Shocked to have anyone appreciate it because of the time. I'm serious. Because at the time it was felt do or die, and since it all failed on this level, it's all just dust with the wind. It's to do what I'm doing tonight and share with you like this. Otherwise, it's just in the book or in history, so to speak, what historians would call history. So thanks for that reaction. You're in sync then with that energy I was intending to be here, because otherwise there could just be the book. You can just do it as the book, but I'm still here, you see. I could just be this drone reading the book. And do that with other sections of the book, but I'm much more interested if you might have any other reactions too. Even though early on, I could go on and read other sections from it. But I'm just kind of wondering, what I just read to you comes from a time where all those words were really, not only I, but a whole subculture of people were trying to live like that. It wasn't just like wish fulfilling. People led middle-class lives with professional jobs and income and properties and whatever, all that's bank accounts. No one had bank accounts. No one had properties. No one had regular professions. No one. Yet everyone survived, and everyone, the cities were complex enough. They allowed this level of people to happen. That's that kind of world. That's a world that doesn't exist now. We live in a world where it wasn't part of the powers that be to eliminate that kind of possibility, because they affirm it that way. They allow an underground to thrive creatively, fermentively. It can cause a lot of trouble. That was not wanted. Things like this seem very fringy at the time, but they have a funny way because what's more in the core of the establishment is very boring, very subtle, and thus very draining. That's the pattern of the readers. It's because people whose main focus is the meaningfulness, is philosophical meaningfulness around physical reproduction. In my opinion, that is passé, but it still possesses our species. And because of that, it drains all the energy that could go to an alternate future into this terrible future, which only recreates in the past. Each of us has been raised by readers, I would suggest to you, for the most part, or even in the case of people who try not to be more traditional type of breeders, they wound up being breeders anyway. I did not see it clearly. It's taken me many years, even past this level, okay, to get more gay rather than straight. We're so drenched in it. We're so, from even before conception, you know, like I'm talking like thousands of years of karma around what all this means now in relation to the past. That's something that gives us a kind of duty or obligation. And it was my not allowing myself to avoid that led to my interest in moving in this direction, writing these kind of materials like stuff I just read to you. Okay, being concerned with that kind of world. So let me just share with you then, okay, unless you've got other reactions right now, what? Would you like to react?
Yeah. I've heard you read a lot of stuff I've said and shared many times. And I think Mitch the best, probably my favorite, and was the most moving of the ones that I've heard. And partly I connected on the level of, you know, I think about how old you were when you wrote it, and it's roughly analogous to where I am now. And I think about that, just sort of the temporality of that this is something that is, like, yes, it was a generation ago, but it speaks to the generation ago. And I'm just kind of stunned. And I was like, I want to take it home and read it in private. Have my way with it.
Okay. That's a very intriguing. I'm sorry, what your name was?
Jason.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you mentioned my name. We usually do the formal part. Your name was?
Jared.
Jared. Okay, thank you. Yeah, usually we do this more formal towards the end part, and I'm just breaking into the flow. I was breaking into my own flow because it's, again, on the spirit of the time and place of the book itself, that a lot of the influence was coming out of materialist-based analyses that might more commonly be known as Marxism, forms of Marxism. But the things that came out of them were not necessarily Marxist, but would have a tinge of that, the atmosphere of that. One of the features of that was this kind of populist quality that is conveyed. You probably were sensing part of that. But in a particular way around the visions, it's the oddball quality. It's the oddball piece of it. And the homosexual part at the same time. And you notice, by the way, I don't know if those of you might be familiar with the world earlier, that I referenced earlier, the world of Don Clark. But this was like gibberish to that world. Even though it sounds sane enough to read it. That I would base my whole life, I would give up that professional life, I would give up that professional track. Don Clark offered me, I could be his crown prince. I gave all of that up. Not only that, I gave up all the friends I had at that time because of this call that came from within. That I mentioned it again on the event that I mentioned to you on the television show, but didn't stop there. It kept going. It became obsessive. I was a nutty person beforehand, so I want to sound like that. I suddenly got weird in some way. I had not been weird before. I was definitely always kind of on ball. But it became more and more interested in leading this out sexual life that was based on the kind of vision I learned from Don Clark, being humanistic about myself and my homosexual desires. And so I liked that to have a gay identity, with gay being defined as a political way of handling homosexual desires affirmatively. So then I just wanted to enjoy a life based on that, a profession based on that. I had a lover and everything was fine, and I was moving ahead, I was finishing up my master's degree. It would have gone that whole trajectory. It does otherwise for young, budding, gay professionals, except that it fell apart. And I didn't just let it fall apart into being depressed. It would have on its own, but it was not my fate. This odd thing grabbed me, again, from the immaterial world, in ways that unfolded over that, I would say, the most determinative way over the course of that year, from that time of that first event. The these kinds of, and I egg them on, these odd events, these odd experiences of what at first could only be grasped by me as ideas, like Jungian ideas.